On today's journey, we're going to identify and find a material called flint and chert, which is used in the ancient traditional art of flint knapping. Flint and chert stone was crafted to make arrowheads, spearpoints, and knives by ancient peoples, as well as other numerous tools that they relied on for survival. We will also be looking at some examples of ancient artifacts, as well as some modern replications in this video. Stick around to the end, like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments and I will get to them as quickly as I can. You ready? You ready for this? Look at that. Nice giant chunk.
Oh, I'm so glad we came over here.
Nice. I'm looking for these flat, shiny surfaces. Nice. I really love when I find random flint like this. I decided to, it's fall now. It's cold. It's like 20 degrees. Well, it's 25 now. Last night, I got in late last night, as usual, and just car camped this time. I slept in the back of the car, and it was very, very, very cold. I'm glad I had 0-degree weather sleeping bags. But decided to come down and look for flint, see what I could find along stretches here in the mountains. And I'm just going to explore around and see what I can find. I'm going to be heading west. So I was looking at this piece of limestone right here. And I glanced up the rock line here and found some pretty high quality flint. Test it. Yeah, that's pretty high quality. I'm keeping this piece. Cool. Look at all the frost.
Okay.
Sometimes it's hard to see it because this stuff has limestone mixed in. Here's a piece of limestone. Here's a piece of flint with limestone in it. So you can see how similar that looks. And then here you have the flint. It's just a little tiny piece. About half of this is flint. If you put side by side, you can see. Limestone, flint, limestone. Here's a bunch more. Some right here. This piece right here. Right next to limestone. That's a pretty big piece. I'm gonna take that. This is also flint, but it's very, very low quality and has a lot of flaws in it, so I don't really like to use this stuff. I always look for the higher quality. that lower quality flint. This looks really low quality. I got my giant copper lead-filled bopper this time. Very, very, very low quality. Limestone here, a little bit of flint there. See this too. Next to it. Let's see. It's chunky, crystally. It'll work though. This is all no good. This whole section here, there's only a line of good going through it. It only goes about halfway. So, I'll show a little bit of a comparison here. I mean, this has dirt on it, but you can see the smooth surface here and here. But if you look at this, and you see that one crack going through, that would flake off compared to this gray. And you can see the lines running through it. And you could see how this would not work too well for flint knapping. It would work for flint and steel, but this would be better for flint knapping. You can see it's two different materials. This one's gray-blue, this one's dark gray. So check this out. If you're out here and you find something that you're unsure of, the best way to test it is to take a corner off. So what I like to do is hold underneath and hit and look. If I can't tell from that, I'll take the whole corner off by hitting straight down. And I'll do that here. You see how this ledge is aimed like that? Like that? So what I'll do is I'll hit right in this ledge, like almost straight down, to test it. And not flint. Some kind of slate or shale. But that's the way I test it. Either that or I just snap the whole thing in half. Like that. As I was doing that, I glanced up here and saw something. There it is. Good piece of flint right here. Tumbled chunk. You don't even have to flake that to tell it's flint. I'm gonna leave this one though, it's tiny. Can't tell. I can't tell if this is good quality or not. Looks like no. It is okay. It's a rough flint, it's not fine-grained. So I'm going to take this piece. Let me test the other side. It's very rough.
Looks like limestone there, and
yeah, that's limestone.
you can see it kind of mixed in right here.
Yeah, so there might just be a little bit of flint in here. So I'm not going to take this piece of half of it as limestone. I'll just leave it. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to check in all the creeks and head west over the mountains, through the mountains, and I'm going to be looking for Onondaga Chert. And that stuff smells like oil. And in my previous videos, I did find a few small pieces of that, but I never found any in the mountains here. So I'm going to see where that line starts. as I'm just looking around. There's gray flint right here. Look at this. I've not seen this either, so I don't know what this is. Still a lot of limestone in there. Using a heavy bobber for this piece to try. Let's see. Piece. Try to use just a slightly bigger one. The way I have the camera set up, I'm trying not to hit the camera. It's rougher in there. Rough stone. Alright. Let's see what we can do here. That's really, really rough. A lot of flaws in it here. Alright. See what we could do with this gnarly piece. It's super gnarly. Trying to get the curve out of things is always a pain, especially when you're working with something this little. It's not impossible, it's just a pain. So that it's not an incredibly small arrowhead. Here the legal hunting size is 7/8 of an inch. So as long as we don't break it with this crystal-y stuff in here, it should be good to go. But we'll just shape this a tiny bit. I know people love to see symmetrical points and all, but if you're hunting, it doesn't exactly need to be symmetrical. But I'll do my best for the video here with this stone that I have. It's going to be tinier than I want it to be. Be the same stuff, I don't know. High quality. Super smooth, super glittery, glossy. If I could find a big piece of that, that'd be great. I mean, if there's little pieces, there's big pieces, probably just like 3 feet down. Underneath all this stuff washed up. Keep looking. Some more of that. This actually looks like higher quality. That gray stuff. Let's see what this side looks like. Yeah, I will take that piece. That's a good piece. That's probably a good piece right next to it. I'll take those. These are perfect for spear points and small knives. These will work great. It's got a little bit of limestone in it. The flint starts right here. You can see the line of where it starts. That's all limestone. So this would make a good knife, actually. That's a decent size. This is the highest quality I've found of this gray-blue stuff. So that's really exciting. I've been looking for this gray-blue stuff, and it's usually in small little pockets and not really able to be napped into a knife, arrowhead, a spear point.
There's another piece.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird shape with a lot of limestone.
Yeah, that's how we usually find it. It just is really chunky.
This is what I usually find.
But you have a
big
nice
pocket of limestone, chunky and small.
What you just found is like a nice slab of it.
Here's more. That's a good arrowhead size. Spear point. Okay, that is awesome. I really love when I find random flint like this. I'll keep looking. In my pocket. So I got a whole pocket full of flint here. with 15 minutes of walking around. It only took me 15 minutes to find all that good flint. Sometimes you come to a spot like this and you don't find anything at all, but you can't find it if you don't look. So look, I'm happy I did. I was just gonna leave, and I looked down and she found some actually. I don't see any more. I'll keep looking though. Fossil.
What is it?
I think that's a fossil. I'm not sure. Yes, fossil. Some kind of worm in the limestone. There's more up here too. Little tiny shells and stuff. More of the gray here. I'm looking for these flat, shiny surfaces. Nice. Yep. Taking that. In my pocket, there's a giant piece. Under this. Look at that.
Ooh.
Ugh.
Oh, nice.
Ugh.
There's some more.
Yeah.
Little one. And some chunks.
Yeah, I'm taking this. See what I could get out of it. It's an arrowhead. That's an arrowhead. And Leah carries the big rocks. There you go. Enjoy that. Spotted a good piece of the black flint. Right here. Nice giant chunk.
Oh, I'm so glad we came over here.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
That's a keep. See, you can see this is limestone.
Yep.
And then that's the flint. That's pretty high quality. It does have some damage, but I'll be able to get lots of spear points and arrowheads out of this. Nice. You carry the big rocks. Here you go. Here you go. You got that? Muscles? Muscles. Not gonna go too much further here. So I see one more piece right down there. Right at the last little bit here. Always be careful coming down these. You don't want to twist your ankle. It's a pretty good piece. Pretty high quality. Pretty solid. I don't see many flaws. There's a bunch of limestone right here. Nice. All right. I have some acid reflux. Coffee did it. Okay, so I'm going to take these and I'm going to head out and I'm going to keep exploring and see what other different kinds of flint and chert I could find. Different colors, different material. All right. All right, so one of the problems that I've had is determining flint and high quality limestone, because it looks really similar, you know, especially if it's wet. So you just test the limestone and you can see how grainy that is. So that's super grainy compared to super smooth and shiny. This is not shiny, this is dull and grainy. You can nap it. It will work. It's very brittle, it's very tough. This stuff is very sharp and very shiny. Here's more. So again, it kind of looks like limestone. This might actually be Onondaga. Hold on a second. Hold on. That is not Onondaga. It looks like it though. That's what Onondaga kind of looks like, that white gray. But this is the same flint as this, it's just weathered differently. Okay. So I can't even move 2 feet here. I saw this, I was like, oh, limestone. I saw this, I was like, oh, limestone. And my foot hit it, and it's flint. It's a big chunk of flint. It's high quality flint. I'll actually show you how high quality this is. See, it looks like junk, right? You ready? You ready for this? You see what I mean? Super high quality. Okay. Fossil. Right there. Shells. So I have no idea on this creek here what I'm looking for, but I see a little piece of quartz in this rock. You see that? Just a little tiny nugget. And I have no idea, so I'm just gonna test whatever rocks look like they could possibly have something in it. Limestone. And I'm gonna test the different areas of the rock too, because that's all limestone. So this spot's going to be difficult to determine what's what if the limestone looks like that. Keep looking. I think that's a toilet pipe.
Ew.
That's probably what that is. Ew.
Ooh, this weird thing. What is that?
That's a conglomerate.
What the heck? It's a weird stone.
See something that looks different here. It's pretty big. This looks like it might be a quartzite. Test. That's a quartzite. Keep looking. So I'm not finding a whole lot here. And I'm actually not too far from where I was at the other location where I found a lot. But here's limestone with flint in it. You can see a tiny bit of flint right there. All kinds of crud here. Limestone. So it's just little nodules of flint here. These stones here are good grindstones and hammerstones for flint knapping, as well as like if you need to grind up roots or grind up other tools or grind slate. These cobbles will do very well. They're very rough, like sandpaper. Good for survival bushcraft tools. So there's also naturally shaped stones like this. If you really need to grind something, you could find a flat rock like that and start grinding into it. Eventually it'll make a hole, and then you have a mortar and pestle. And I've used these before for crushing dandelion root and such, and it works really, really well. Here's another one right next to it. Would work really well, like that. You could also peck a hole into this with another rock. Like if you just keep going like that and grind a hole in there. And then as you start using this, it'll work really well. Found a little piece of tumbled glass. And put that on a necklace. Pretty. Found a maybe right here. This is a probably not, actually. No. Not if it caves in like that.
It's just got some in there.
Got a little tiny bit of maybe, like right there. So, not so good at this location. A nugget of something. Don't know. Quartz. And quartz. Alright, I am driving about an hour west now. Not much in that creek at all. Little tiny nuggets. That's it. And I immediately saw stuff on the ground. I could already see there's workable stuff. Stuff you can use in Flintknapping for Bushcraft, survival. It's flint, that'll make a spark, that'll make an arrowhead. It's really shiny. That's cool. Sparkles. Can you see that? So I'll take this piece. There's some right there, but it's not good. This right here is some kind of flint, but it's not good and has those crystal inclusions. But if you see stuff like this, then there's likely to be better around. So I'm going to poke around a little bit and look, and maybe try fishing over in that calmer area over there. There's been a lot of rain, so I don't know. Okay, so this stuff here, these little bounced around cobbles. If you're doing survival and bushcraft and you need a flint for your flint and steel fire starting, this stuff here is perfect. all you got to do is knock this piece off, or just take this, and that's good enough to hit your striker with, and that'll create sparks. This is all you need. You don't need much. You don't need a big piece like this. Got my steel striker here for flint and steel, the piece of flint that I picked off the creek here. And let's see if you can see the sparks. Just got a bone hook, but I'm not using that right now. One of the many reasons that I come out here to look for this stuff is not only to make my stone tools, but it's also to look at stuff like this. Like, I don't have this kind of stuff where I originally come from. This is still really new to me, and I've been doing this for 15 years and I'm not used to it yet. I'm not used to seeing stuff like this. There's just a big rain, so this is way faster than it would normally be. And so far, today alone, I've seen an eagle on the side of the road eating something. I've seen a chipmunk, a wild tree squirrel. That thing was vicious. What else did we see? We saw so much already. We just woke up.
Groundhogs?
We saw groundhogs, 2 giant groundhogs. They looked very friendly. There was a woodpecker in the camp eating the trees. It was, well, not eating the trees, eating what was in the tree, but they were slamming their heads against the thing and making a lot of noise. But anyway, part of what I do is not just to find the flint. It's also to enjoy nature and to enjoy being out here. And I want to show you more of that. I've shown you enough of this. You could go back through my old videos and how to identify this. But along the way, I am looking for this stuff, and I will show you if I find any, because it's still awesome. But for the most part, I just want to show you these areas that I come to and what is so exciting for me to be out here. And I'm sure it's exciting for you guys to see as well. So I'll share it. So I saw this right here. It's a grayish flint. It's tough. Wow. Hold on. Hold on. Bigger hammerstone. Okay. That is not working. So it's crystally. It's definitely crumbly. That's a whole brick of it. So if you can find something like that, that isn't so cracked, and it's more pure, you'll have a good block of flint. But along these mountain creeks and mountain rivers, you'll find all kinds of stuff that you could use. So what I'm trying to say is, really, I use this as an excuse to come to places like this. Like, it's flint. But, look at that. This is the excuse. This is what I use to come out here. This is my reason for being out here, but not really at all. I walked up and down this bank here, just looking real quick, and there is flint here, but it's got all kinds of inclusions, and it's not the best stuff, but it will flake like that. And that could be used as a tool, a hide scraper, whatever you need, like any kind of sharp tool. You could use that as a knife even if you need to cut something sharp. I kind of cut myself on it a little bit, but this material is not the best for flint knapping because of all these seams and cracks in it. It'll kind of just break the point if you're trying to shoot that on an arrow or throw it with an atlatl spear. This will just shatter when it hits something. This stuff is way better. This is the only good piece I found on this stretch. But I'm not like crazily looking. I just walked straight back just to see what this looked like and to see if there was anything here. I found this. I found this stuff. I'm not happy with it. This I'm happy with. That's coming home. I'm going to make a spear point out of that if I can. So I'm going to clip that in here, just me napping a spear point. We'll do that. Alright guys, very quick arrowhead from that stuff on the river. And I think there might be trout in here. It's been a lot of rain, so I don't know if they're here, but I'm going to try some fishing. Let's see if there's anything, I don't know. So I walked up further from the bank, and I'm finding more of this stuff up further. There's some right here. And that'll make a nice spear point. That's the same stuff. Just a little bit of a exploration day today. We just packed up from our campsite. We got in late last night. We camped up the road at a primitive campsite. I recorded a little bit of that. I'll splice it in here to show you. Alright guys, morning one. Poured out last night. We were up in here, right in that tent. And it rained so much, there's actually a little bit of water running down the road here still. First night is always a rough night. We got here, it was starting to get dark. We had to set up really fast. Did not really start doing anything yet. Just kind of got here and relaxed. Went to sleep. I'll walk you through the site real quick. Let's see, look, there's literal running water. Yeah. Okay, so campfire, table, and tent, and that is it. This is a primitive campsite. There's nothing else. Not too bad. I like this site. I'm gonna mark this down. Leah is rolling up the tent. Getting ready to head out here.
Close.
He's looking. Oh. There it goes. Get the frog out of the campsite. Go away, frog. Alright, just wanted to fill in the blank spot there for you. All set? Next spot? Which way? That way or that way? That way? Okay. We're going that way. Good flint. Good enough for an arrowhead right here. Just pulled off here on this creek here. What is up, guys? I'm going to show you in this video how to find flint or chert in creeks and riverbeds to use for flint napping, bushcraft, survival, fire starting for flint and steel, and I will show you some of the things that I have made from the rock found on this journey. Have a good time, guys. So I'm going to need to find a hammerstone to bust open these rocks. And I know what I'm looking for here. It's a black, blue, gray flint. I see a pretty good hammerstone right here. Oh, it's a little big, but I'm looking for something egg-shaped like that. So this one here will do, I think. It's more of a sandstone hammerstone, but that grabs the edge a little better. All right. This might be some right here. This might be the first piece of flint in the winter. To see how smooth that is? Let's see. Flat edge here. I'll give it a try. This is freezing on my hand. This water is very, very, very cold right now. But we're gonna test it. We'll see if this is flint. If it is, it's tough. That is flint. Let's try to get a good flake off. This is kind of difficult. Maybe it's not. That is not flint. I am shocked. This is not flint. I thought it was. It tricked me. I don't know what that is. Okay. Try this piece here. Looks like it might be. Give it a test. And that is. It's a rough flint, but it's flint. Smell mud. So I saw on the underside here a flake taken out and river polished. So I figured this was flint. It is a black flint. And the way you could tell is it has it's called a conchoidal fracture. It'll split in a kind of an oval shape like that. I'll show you another one right here. See how it's like an oval shape? And this is going to be a tough black flint. This will nap, but it'll be very, very difficult to work. But it will work. I'm not sure what kind this is. It's got a little bit of limestone in it, a tiny bit, and some quartz inclusions. So, first piece of flint in the winter, in the snow, in the freezing cold creek. My hand is covered in crud, and I'm about to rinse it in the freezing cold water. So, my hand won't be usable for a little bit, but at least I found flint. Let's see how cold this is. All right. Oh, ah, Jesus. All right. Not really gonna be able to wash my hand. Turn freaking purple. Jesus. There's a really nice piece of flint that I just spotted right here, but it's really small. I'll pick it up. Oh. Very, very shiny blue. Blue-gray. It's very cool. I've not seen this here. Maybe more? This is more. And this stuff here, I can tell by sight that it's flint. That shiny glossy. And then I see another piece right down here that has a vein of flint running through it. Right here. See this gray line? That's the flint. Cool. take this. The way I could tell that's limestone is it's gray and chalky. And so one of the bonuses of looking along a creek is when you're looking in the water, you could easily identify flint. It stands out when it's wet. So if you're looking for small pieces for flint and steel fires in your creeks, you could find stuff like this. This will work perfect for flint and steel. You put this in your fire starting kit. I got some flint, fire steel, char cloth. Into that piece I just found, my old hammerstone is getting really chipped up because it's sandstone, and that's not so good. So I found quartzite right here. It's a little big, but it should work, and we'll see how much of this is actually flint. The other thing that's harder in the winter is your hands are so cold that you're gonna have a hard time hitting these platforms. That is flint. It's not a high quality flint, but it is flint. Let me try on this side. Flint, very low quality. So it's limestone mixed with flint on this piece. So in here, if you bust it open enough, there will be good flint in there. Like, this is a good piece. It's just going to be hard to get past the limestone. And you might need better tools than just this. Unless you just want to whack on it all day, you could do that too. But if you're trying to get tools out of it, you're going to need some kind of leverage on this to get into it. So there is flint in this creek, but it's not as high quality as I would like. I'm looking for longer pieces so I can make my knife blades. These are good for tools, arrowheads, spearpoints. But I'm going to need something a little bigger, so I'm going to follow the creek, see what I can come up with. That is cold. Cold! Alright, so this is a spot that I know has flint. Problem is, you can see the rock line in the water right here. And that's where I was finding the flint, and that looks like it's about 3 feet deep right there. And this time the deposit location has changed from here to there. So everything's going to be on the other side, and I can't get over there. That's private property. Not going over there. So it looks like all of the rocks are underwater here. This is where we usually go to look and go to stand, is right down here. It's underwater. We can't get to it right now. So this area looks like a no-go. We'll try one more thing and then we're gonna head out. just walking along this, looking for easy routes down. Leah is way ahead of me, way down the river. Just looking to see if there's any large rocks that look like flint, and I don't really see any. Okay, continue on. Yeah, these are definite. Small. I don't think so, but you never know. Let's see. That's a no. Alright. Yeah, that's a no. Alright, here's here, with some chips taken out of it from tumbling. This is definitely flint. This is a maybe. I'll give it a test. That is a no. Limestone. This is a yes. That is a yes. There's some damage in there, but that's flint. Good flint. So here is a vein of flint running through this rock. This looks a little loose. Go. That is flint. That is the same flint from down in the creek. This is a isopus flint. This is very good stuff, but very damaged when it's outside of the ground like this. So it's just good to know what it looks like. So if you see anything like this, you know good flint is nearby. Test this one just real quick. See what it is, see what it looks like. Good flint. Good enough for an arrowhead right here. Very good. So the reason this isn't so good is it's very little space surrounded by a bunch of cortex, different type of stone. And it would be really difficult to get to make any kind of blade out of this. But if you want to take a piece off for a fire steel off the corner, that'd be fine. Little tiny thing to make sparks. One of the questions I had was, in Paleolithic times, Paleo times, were they able to find creek cobble flint with the ice and the snow, it being the Ice Age and all? So there's that question. There's that question answered. Okay, so that is a success on finding flint in the winter. In the snow, it is snowing. It's not like blizzarding or anything, but it is flurrying, and in the distance I see a lot of snow. And there's a lot of snow on the ground covering the majority of the flint and chert. So, success on the small cobbles that I could make arrowheads and spear points out of. So, success! We were able to find flint in the winter in the snow. You have to get really close to the creek line, and look down into the water and you'll see it, if it's there. So, I'm running out of light. It is almost 4, and I got quite a bit of a drive home. So, I'm gonna have to end this video here. And this was our day trip challenge of, can you find flint in the winter? Yes, you can. Alright guys, I'll see you soon. Like, comment, subscribe. Leave a ton of comments on this video. Let me know what you think. Okay, have a good one, guys. I'll see you soon. Look at that. Success. Randomly found flint. This time just in the woods. This is a really exciting video, guys. Stick around, watch the whole thing, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you comment, I will try my best to answer your questions. So if you have a question, feel free to ask. There's a big waterfall right there. Oh.
A salamander.
Is it? That's a salamander?
You see him?
Oh, I didn't mean to mess with your house, dude. Alright, he's crawling back into the wall. So we stopped at this creek here. I just wanted to look around, see what kind of lithics were here. And got an interesting orangish looking quartzite. And I could knap this into something. A really pretty location too. I like it here. There's little fish in the water, there's frogs. So there's or something. But right here I noticed two blocks of what looked to be flint. And that is flint. This is definitely flint. And that is good flint. Very, very cool. The whole pile right here. That is shocking. Alright, I'm going to keep looking around. So all of this right here is flint, but it's very, very tough flint. Cool. Let's test this piece. Just for the heck of it. That is good flint for sure. Cool, cool, cool. Looking at this big chunk here, I don't know how the quality is, but it seems pretty big. It looks like it goes down pretty deep, and I don't have any digging tools with me. That is flint. Wow. Let's test right here. Look at that. Success. Randomly found flint. This time just in the woods. This is a good 50-pound block here. kind of worm?
No, it's a salamander.
Is it? That's a salamander?
You see him?
Oh, I didn't mean to mess with your house, dude. Alright, he's crawling back into the wall. Cool. Alright. So right here I see a giant boulder of flint. The way I could tell is the smooth brown top. The flint here is a brown color. When you crack it open, it's black. So that's a giant chunk of flint. I'm going to keep walking down and see if there's anything that I could actually crack into. That's too big and all I have is a little stone.
Let me see your hammerstone.
So I got a little washout from downriver here. This stuff was washed in. So I'm going to check to see if any of it is nappable. Got a little hammerstone. A little ringy. Hear that ringy bell? That's either high quality limestone or this has flint in it. I'm not sure yet. That's a high quality limestone. You can nap that. That is razor sharp. It's just, it's brittle. So like if you're using that as a tool, you're going to have to resharpen it a lot. But you could see it comes off in a conchoidal fracture, just like flint. Except this is limestone. Alright, so I got a piece of brown here, and I know in the area here, the brown is sometimes flint, sometimes it's basalt. I won't know till I crack it open. So we'll see what we got here. Flint. See that? This is it's called a shale flint. It's not as shiny or perfect as most flints. This has more shale than flint, but you hear that ringing? Almost like a bell. If you hear that when you're testing rocks, it's worth investigating and cracking into, because you might be able to find something that, like this alone, can be used as a knife. If you're fishing in a creek like this, you catch a fish, you want to cut it open, gut it, just use the flake. Works perfectly. I'm going to keep this piece. Keep looking. I see black and brown and a lot of white and limestone. So it just takes some experimentation of cracking them open and seeing what's inside. So I'll show you what I mean about ringing. Like if I hit this coarse stone here, it sounds very dull, more like a knock. And then if I find something that looks like flint, like this, which is definitely flint, higher pitched, ringy, that's some good flint. It's got some damage in there, but that's flint. One I saw smooth brown and chunky black, and it has some fossils in it. Usually if you see stuff like this in areas with limestone and fossils, there's different kinds of flint mixed into stuff. I might need a bigger hammerstone to do this, but different areas will be ringy if there's flint in there, and other areas will be dull if there's not. You hear that? Compared to... So let's test certain areas of this particular rock here. It does have flint in it, but it's very weathered and not so good. Let's see what else we could get into this piece. I doubt it, but we'll try. bigger hammerstone. Yeah, I don't know. I really want to try to get into that to see. It's mostly limestone. There is some flint, but it's not anything wonderful. Nah. Alright, I thought that was worth investigating, but it's not.
Do you want to check that one?
Check this little thing. Where did my other hammerstone go now? Here's this one. That sounds like a dull ringy. Let's see. That's a shell. Yeah, it's snappable, but it's nothing too high quality. Limestone shell. You can see the glittering in it. So you can knap this, but it's not very high quality. There's my other hammerstone. Nope. That was a trickery. It's covered in sludge. Limestone. Ugh. Ugh. You want it? A higher quality sound to them. This one here, I know is probably going to be good. Gonna hit right at this ledge here. Super high quality flint. Smells like gunpowder when you hit it. Where'd that flake go? There we go. So that's a keep. I do not know what kind of flint this is. And then we got this here. It has a super ringy sound to it, but it doesn't look so good, so I wanted to test this. Limestone with some flint in it. The darker stuff is the flint. The white crumbly stuff is the limestone. I'm going to try the other side. I could see a little bit of flint in there. It's giving you a big problem like this and busting up your hammerstone. It's probably not worth it. I mean, there's a little bit in there, and I'm trying to... Yeah, see, that's like freaking concrete in there. So there's probably not a lot of good flint in there. Especially if it's giving you a hard time to crack it. Good flint will pop right off like that other one did. So this I'm going to leave here. So the reality of this, when you're looking, I went all the way up and down this whole creek and only found one really high quality piece. And this is super high quality, so to me this is worth it. It's kind of a banded chert. So I'm going to continue on and see what else I could find. I'm happy with this. I wonder if this is Onondaga. I don't know, it just smells like mud. Alright, I'm out. Don't stand too close. There's no underneath you there. Here, I'm gonna throw it up to you.
Whoa. Spider. Alright, this is gonna take some digging. I'll be back. And we got him.
Okay, so there's some good examples here down off this cliff. Some of it is not so good, but it is flint, so if you wanted to use it for fire and steel, this would work for fire starting, for bushcraft. This stuff here is very decayed and not good at all for much of anything. This whole piece is no good, very decayed. Not much flint in it, it's mostly limestone, so I'm going to chuck that back. That could go back, that could go back. This is a good example of what the flint would look like when you're looking for it. It comes in different forms. This kind runs in veins through limestone, and you can see the limestone here and the limestone on the bottom. And this is, I'm going to call this Eastern Onondaga. Then there's other kinds. And I'm not so sure on this one. This whole piece might be limestone. But this is flint. That's a solid block of flint. Right here. You can see pieces have been knocked off from tumbling around down there. And that's flint. This is the same kind of flint. Massive boulder that Leah found. Perfect flint. Again, more examples of stuff that's decayed, not so good, can't really use it for anything, so throw that back. This piece might have some good in it, so I'm going to keep it. I see the shiny black here, so I'm going to try to split this in half and make something from it. This is that shale stuff. Look at this. So it'll cut, it'll flake, but I don't really like this stuff too much. I'm going to keep it anyway. Let's actually take a piece off. We'll use the flint to knock the flake off. So it does have some good shale flint in there. It's much different than the other kinds. If you look, you can see this is very shiny. And that's kind of dull, and it'll work. It'll shape, it'll cut, it'll flake, it'll make arrowheads, it'll make knives, but it's not as good as the other stuff. This is more of this. That shale stuff.
It's more coarse inside.
Yeah, definitely coarser inside. This I'm going to toss back. Can't really do too much with it. I have enough flint and fire steels for myself. This is going to be really hard to get into, and there's a crack going through. But that's some pretty high quality flint right there, but it's only about that much. So if you wanted to make an arrowhead from this piece, you could. I'm not going to keep this. I'm going to toss it back. So another example of the flint inside the limestone, but that's very, very damaged. You can see it's damaged. I'm going to bring this home to try to split it. But for now, I want to check out this piece because this is a mystery to me. I don't know what this is. It might just be limestone. So I'm going to use this big one to try to knock an edge off here. And that is limestone. So this is a whole big block of limestone. And as I said, this stuff is sharp and it'll cut, but it dulls quickly. You could shape it. It's very tough. It's a ringy, which means it's a high quality limestone. You can use that to knap, but I wouldn't waste my time with it considering I got this stuff. So I'm going to toss this back and keep the rest. So I've been conserving that one rock that you threw at me. I rolled down the hill, went in the water, and I've been really conserving that. I've made like 5 knives out of it so far. And I still have a chunk about that big. It's like a brick. But I've been like, oh God, I don't want to waste this rock because it's so pristine. It's the shale chert. And you just found 2 more huge boulders of it, so I'm very, very happy with that. Onondaga, I got this crazy piece of gravel here. Let's see what we could do with it. I will do a full knapping session later, but for now, I'm just going to see if I can make anything from this. I was working on this, doing some across flaking, and there's some damage in it. I should be able to fix it. Well, that worked. Look at that. Wouldn't exactly flute, but it worked. Kind of stalled out a little bit right here, but I did get it to go a little bit. If I worked on that more, a nice point out of this stuff, just out of gravel. Keep this in mind, guys. Alright, so I have followed this creek for many, many miles now. And as you can see, there's no rocks. So, unfortunate. I don't see any on the other side, nothing. Not a thing. Really pretty though. Wow. Alright. New plan. I'm gonna go somewhere else. There is some decent sized chunks here. That's a good piece. And I'm just going to mark this down. There's more right here. Not the best. So I just looked down here in the creek. And it looks like there's that's a pretty good piece. It's a little tumbled, but I could probably knap that. I'll give it a try. There is some pretty big blocks. This goes down deep, but this is chert right here. But I'm not about to dig something out. So this is pure limestone. So there's more limestone. This I don't think is anything. I'll check it though. Here, hold the limestone. Sandstone.
Oh.
However, what is that? Looks weird. More sandstone. So a lot of sandstone here. There's some quartzite and very little limestone, but limestone is here. Where you find limestone, you can usually find flint. And we did see a few small pieces here. So this is what the limestone in this area looks like. It's usually a blue inside and a light blue white cortex weathering. So yeah, here's a nice piece of limestone right here.
Try that, because
Yeah.
after that last video.
Hear that ring?
Mm-hmm.
Usually means good material. It's cherty. It's limestone with chert. So you can knap this. You can use this. It's just rough, but it'll work, and it's very, very sharp. You could knap this real quick into a spear point or arrowhead. See, it flakes. If it flakes, you could use it. Good stuff. Good limestone here. So that is cherty limestone. It has chert in it. Look around a little bit more. So the road I was on looks very sketchy. So I made a U-turn right here, which was also very sketchy. However, this area is extremely beautiful. So I hopped out of the car and I'm going to film some of it. Look at that. I don't even really know where I am right now. Pretty. There's like nobody here. I'm just in the middle of the woods. It's a dirt road now. Up there was paved. Feels pretty wild. Really enjoying this. Oh. Look at that, guys. Little fall fish. Alright, we'll let him go. Don't know.
Pretty grainy.
Feel how sharp that is.
Ah, jeez. That was gross.
Quartzite.
Oh, wow. It is. It's weird.
Let's try over here. Yeah, quartzite. Look at that.
Shiny. Kind of sugary.
Yeah. It's all quartzites and limestone or shale. So I don't know what this is, but it's clay. It's polished. Well, some kind of slate shale. Just polishes up nice.